Okay, look, you and your feelings in here are really f***ing up this show, all right? I do not need you and your emotions in this motherfucker. These are jokes that I am working the f*** out. You get the f*** out of here and go to a counseling meeting if you all about your emotions, motherfucker. You in a comedy club, goddammit. This is where we come to talk shit. God damn.
We have a problem. Like a big problem. Something that I have been noticing for the past several years, part and parcel because of social media and everyone having the ability to have a voice and a platform, is that people have been trying to silence comedians for jokes that they tell, claiming that the jokes are insensitive to whatever individual may be the butt of said joke, or whichever individual decides to jump in front of that stray bullet of a joke. At this point, I'm sure that comedic icons such as Bernie Mac and Patrice O'Neal are turning over in their graves in disbelief. People are trying to tell comedians not to be so organic, vulgar, and unapologetically raw with their jokes.
Black jokes. Are you guys ready for some black jokes? Yeah! All right, black jokes. Here we go. So you heard the old saying, once you go black, you're a single mother.
Shaking my head. Nobody ever told Jordan to put his tongue back in his mouth when he dunked a basketball. How dare you? This, my friend, is simply an attempt to suppress artistic expression and to make certain groups of people and topics feel like they are untouchable and exempt from criticism of playful banter, all dressed up in an exaggerated fashion to be called bullying.
Can't even tell jokes no more. My man Tracy Morgan told a joke about gay people, almost cost him his job. That's ridiculous. And that's amazing because gay people can take a but the joke is out of the question. That hurt and that didn't? You're gonna have to get your priorities together.
Jokes were never meant to be for people to be so devastatingly triggered by. For gosh sakes, there's a whole genre of comedy called your mama jokes. Your mama jokes are part of the evolution of comedy. Talking trash is just part of the art form. Most great comedians that I know have talked about going through frequent depressions. Comedians are artists, and like many artists, they dive deep into darkness to get their material. Comedic depressions with no outlet of self-expression is cruel because it would make the comedian feel like they went through all of those dark things and now they don't even get the opportunity to express themselves in their art form and to make people laugh, which in turn would make all the dark times that they experienced feel a little bit brighter.
If I was a white woman, I would rob black dudes. I'd walk up to black guys and be like, "Hi, my name is Sarah. Give me your wallet." Sarah, that's my grandmama name. Give me your wallet or I'm gonna scream. No, wait a minute here, Sarah. There's a couple white women in here like, we could actually do that. I mean, I hate to say it, but who's gonna believe him?
Comedians deserve protection from criticism and people who are trying to dilute their creative expressions and reshape the art form of stand-up comedy into something bland, where everyone is walking on eggshells.
I'm a big believer that we need comedians. I think right now we've arrived very suddenly into a politically correct environment where comedians get canceled. They are said that now everything they say is too vulgar, too sexist, too racist, too this and that. And the comedians are there to further the conversation, and they should be offensive to everybody, every side, all the time. And I've seen Dave Chappelle be offensive to conservatives. I've seen him be offensive to liberals. And that space, to me, should be sacred. And so I said, I'd love to meet him. I've been a fan of him my whole life. But I will defend comedians to the death of me to say what they want. They need to, their ground is becoming less and less sacred. sacred and they're being canceled too often.
Comedy is an outlet for freedom of expression. It is said that we have the freedom of speech, but it seems that this so-called freedom of speech has been threatened by this ever-mutating beast we call cancel culture.
I saw this in the Times. Comedians made some inappropriate joke 20 years ago. They're holding them accountable now. What do you think about that?
I think that's so stupid. It's just so dumb. And plus, you know what? Stop holding comedians to this standard. Yeah. Stop doing that. That's our job. Our job is to make the ugliest stuff funny. That's our job. That's our job. We are court jesters. We are clowns. That's what we do. We come out and we make this terrible situation laughable. I mean, unless you want to cry for the rest of your life. Do you want to cry?
Dark humor is a necessary bridge between stand-up comedy and real-life traumas. It is an art form that is not for the faint of heart, and nobody is forced to listen to it. But to stop someone else from receiving that therapeutic, infectious laughter of healing is just selfishness.
I'm sure that you can tell by my obvious physical prowess and aggressive cardigan style that I was in the United States Marine Corps for 5 years. When people find out that I've been to Afghanistan twice, they love to ask me, "Oh, Kate, did you ever kill anybody?" I feel like the only time it's okay to ask somebody that is if you're getting to know your prison cellmate a little bit better. And the worst part is I actually feel inadequate when I tell them that no, I've never killed anyone. Like somehow I've squandered your tax money by not taking a human life overseas. Well, I'm sorry, America, but those little Afghan kids can zigzag like motherfuckers. They're like really fucking hard to shoot. I've tried. Yeah.
Research has shown that there are so many healing powers of laughter. From it having the ability to relax the entire body, to being able to increase people's memory, and to lower people's blood pressure. It can even help promote better sleep and lower people's stress hormones. And after all, laughter is contagious. It's almost like our body wants to laugh because it understands that it's something that it needs, essentially. It's something that is healthy.
I did notice that when I quit drinking, my husband started collecting expensive whiskey. Thought that was a little annoying. So I was like, babe, how come when I quit drinking, you started collecting whiskey? And he was like, I have been trying to collect it the whole time. Whoopsie.
Now, for a second, I want you to imagine comedy without dark jokes. I mean, there goes Richard Pryor's entire catalog, right? Now, imagine a world with only PG jokes. Ew.
What happens is everybody gets safe.
Right.
And when everybody gets safe and nobody tries anything, things get boring.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I see a lot of unfunny comedians. I see unfunny TV shows. I see unfunny award shows. I see unfunny movies. Because everybody's scared to make a move. And that's not a place to be.
At the root of what makes comedy so funny is that it comes from a realistic place that people can relate to. And most of the time, that place is derived from sadness, pain, hopelessness, childhood traumas. And that is what makes it all the more funny when someone has the creative ability to flip those scenarios, those dark, sad scenarios, and make it into something relatable and funny.
I think when it comes to comedians, we ain't politicians. We just some joke tellers. So we talk about the crazy stuff that goes on. I don't care what the topic is. My job is a hard one. I got to find what's funny about these dark topics that people are afraid to talk about.
Now, I do understand that every joke is not for everyone. Just like every food isn't for everyone. I personally like mushrooms on my pizza, but I know people that would rather starve before they ate mushrooms on their pizza.
I love black women so much, man. The only problem is I'm technically not allowed to date black women until my grandpa dies, so Just waiting on that, man.
It's all about the type of taste palette you have acquired throughout your life. Everybody's taste palette they have acquired is always different.
I realized that I have an irrational fear of rats. I did not know there was going to be so much wildlife in this city. One night, I was walking home really late. I walked past this huge pile of garbage. And inside one particular trash bag, there was a whole lot of movement going on. Inside the bag. Like real aggressive but unidentified rustling. I was so frightened. My only thought was, oh my God, I hope that's a baby. Please.
Some people draw the line at jokes about sexuality, mental disorders, suicide, obesity, or police brutality. A person's trigger could be anything, but why should a comedian have to walk on eggshells to spare someone's feelings? It would be easier just for the person to log off, shake it off, or not take it personal.
You want to cry? Because we can do that. We can cry if you want to. But I'd rather laugh at the situation because laughter brings joy. Laughter brings endorphins. Laughter brings contagiousness.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like it brings joy. People love me so much because I have an energy of happiness.
Right.
I want to be happy. I want you to laugh just as much as you. I want everybody to laugh. And the best way to conquer pain is laughter.
Yeah.
It's the best way.
so true.
Let comedians do their job, because let me explain something to you. You're not letting comedians do their job, and you're miserable. You're miserable because laughter is a release. Just like watching acting, just like listening to music, just like looking at art. Laughter is a release that you are now cutting off. Stop walking around so offended. You're not going to be able to survive life if you walk around offended.
But at the end of the day, where there is room for offense, someone will surely be. Stand-up comedy is medicine to me. When I'm sad or just low vibrational, that is my drug of choice. Well, one of them. So whether we're talking about killing children at war, having a drinking problem, the LGBTQ community's sensitivity level, or what happens once you go black, or even white women robbing black men, please, just save dark humor.
Everyone calls me ugly because I'm disabled. Nah, you're not ugly. You're very...